There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, but nobody's watching right now.
Hey everyone.
Welcome to the crib part 2.
Woo.
Okay, I posted it there, so we might start getting some viewers. And I guess other people are having a hard time getting in. Error. Okay.
Okay.
If you want, I can send George and them the link.
Well, I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
Paste. Who else is asking? Mike. If somebody wants to, here we go. If you want to be helpful, could somebody? Oh, we made it back without any problems. I guess. I see people in chat. Well, I'm somehow we made this work correctly. If anybody wants to put this new link into the into like Alliance Crib or whatnot, I think I already put it into BPS Crib. Okay.
Posted in
Thanks.
our chat.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Well, welcome back, Holst. Do you want to bring the slides back up?
I'll go ahead and do that.
Hey,
Okay.
Hefe,
Yes.
can you put the link for the YouTube show into our chat so I can get a copy of it?
Sure. 1 second.
We lost the mad scientist.
I'll send it to Brian again. And
He's going off
All right.
first.
no,
How did Nines get a?
I don't
copy?
know. I think he's got. I think he might have a camera in my room. I'm not certain, but yeah, there was a break-in recently. But I'm gonna send something to Brian.
I
If
got
you
it.
want to go to the next slide, Holsch. Oh,
I
you
got-
sent it to Brian.
Yeah, I got
We
Brian.
can talk about the sloth a little bit.
The sleuth.
The sleuth, yes. This is okay. This is what was in the preview server. It's sort of an interesting weapon. It's got a very slow combat speed of 8, which I don't think we've seen anything like that since the Fortress or can anything the Floating Fortress.
I think Floating Fortress.
Yeah.
I
The
think
turn
it's
speed of 50 is fascinating, though. You know, you combine that with the 8. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Again, these are preview stats.
And look at that low map speed.
Do epic donuts while you're
Yeah.
killing people's bases.
Yeah, it is a little bit. It is a little bit bizarre, but especially considering the stats don't seem to make a lot of sense, because it's got remote targeting of 100%, and then every other sloth you have adds 10%. So I'm assuming this self-affects, and now you're at 150. So
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I
you
guess
can't
the
you
boost-
can't have 5 because what are you going to do? Crawl into a base?
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean-
Let's say you have 4.
Check.
So now you're at 140. But why is the ballistic deflection so high?
Because ballistas.
Ballistas, okay, ballistas, dead eyes.
Because ballistas. That's really about all I can think of.
And then not the minigun. What's the other one? The long range concussive.
Maxim.
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 Oh yeah.
That's
And then the
gross.
splash damage reduction of plus 25. I'm assuming once those stack up, those are supposed to slow down the cap mortars. The confusing part is in the little flavor text in the splash screen when we entered the preview. The Sloth is a mobile mortar platform that features extended remote targeting ranges, as well as built-in targeting scrambler that masks it from the enemy weapons so long as any other ship is also in range. So I'm not sure if this flavor text is actually describing the splash damage reduction, or it's a whole, what we
Another
always love,
mechanic.
a
Yeah.
new mechanic, and we all love those. They all work right out of the box, as Larry.
Well, don't I mean I each one of
Because they always
last
were
two-
fine.
the last two have come out, like each one of these Conquer Halls have been coming out with a new mechanic, right? So this might have it. It's not listed anywhere other than that flavor text. But even still, I mean, if you're talking about having 4 of these things and a spotter, a couple of cataclysm mortars placed in the right spot, you just ruined somebody's day.
Maybe. Well, with the splash damage reduction percent, that
31.6%.
It doesn't move. It's got a combat speed of 8.
31.6%, assuming 4 of them before turret defense. So you're taking about 16% damage. Ta-da! Oh, you could put those splash damage armors on the war plating.
Mm-hmm.
So even
Yeah,
more
but it
than
only has
that.
2 armor slots. It only has 2 armor slots as well.
Better than 0. I don't know. We'll have to try to build it once we get anything resembling a preview. Like this is the preview of the preview.
Who's
Well,
gonna have time? Oh,
but
who's
it's
gonna have
nifty.
time to build damn friggin' Conquerors? Though I haven't been able to build a Conqueror Hall in over 2 months because I've been trying to build fucking raid fleets.
Okay, if my math is right, which it
Which it
normally
probably
isn't.
isn't.
Oh, mute him now. Mute him
Yeah,
now.
no shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was just going to simply say,
Go ahead, Nines.
if you have 4 of these in the fleet, aren't you getting like 250 freaking remote range?
See, Calamity
Boo
Jane.
this man!
Calamity Jane is at it again. How are
No,
you?
now,
250?
no, now we actually get. No, now we
I
actually.
want to
get
know.
control
I
of
want to
Calamity
hear.
Jane.
Hold on. I want to hear the math proof for this.
Okay, so 40% added to 1. Normal, I use an oppressor, it gets 180 range. 40% is, if I remember right, like 70. So it'd be about 250 in remote range.
If you're going multiplicatively, that's not too far off. I'm going additively because I see a plus sign. So, well, okay, that's not always true either, but I'm assuming it's additive and you get 140% remote range, which is going to get you 216.
Hey, is splash damage reduction additive or multiplicative?
Multiplicative.
Because like whenever you have the armors on
War
anything,
plating.
it's
Yeah,
additive.
Is it additive?
It shows it in the shipyard as additive.
Yeah, the good guys did an experiment.
That's why I'm scared of these kind of.
Oh, that'll make this interesting.
Nobody knows what's going on, even the people that make the game.
That's how you get a glut past a Calamity Seeker.
I mean, look, here's the thing, and I've said it before. The community is exceptionally disappointed because we've been holding Kixeye to the 2016 standard because all of last year when big changes came about, we at least had some idea of what was going on. The Revenge series is going to be like this is how it's going to work, and we had information going into it, so we weren't doing this shit all the time. This has become a monthly actually more than a monthly thing. This happens every time something comes up because we have no idea what the hell's going on. We don't know a larger plan. We have no idea what the thought process is behind any of the stuff. We have no idea how the interactions are supposed to be. We don't know dick. And it's making playing this game not fun now.
Yeah, even, see also 2 minutes ago, me going, oh, clearly remote targeting range is additive because there's a plus, but then splash damage reduction is apparently multiplicative, but it also has a plus.
No, it's additive.
Oh, it's additive? Then why did you say multiplicative?
additive.
That's what Hulse just said when he put it in the shipyard. It was additive.
I thought you said multiplicative.
I thought
Because it was like an automatic.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's an automatic answer. Okay, so it is. They're all additive because they have a plus sign. So there is a rule.
I guess.
Until
Maybe.
Kix breaks it.
That's the thing. Oh, that's right. We were talking about the res cap in After Show or something the other day.
Mhm.
It's like, oh yeah, it affects turret defense. Wait, no, it doesn't. Oh, that's why. So
Yep.
incredibly unclear.
Yep. I mean, look, the game has gotten very complicated. It has. And when you
It'd
have a
be-
game that's this complicated, it's easy to make it not fun, and they just got to kind of keep that in the back of their head that, it is a game, it's supposed to be fun. And the only way that we can actually have fun when this much stuff's coming out, especially with all these new types of mechanics, is some communication. Because when we don't know what's going on, like, what the hell was that special that slows down projectile speed shit in your base?
Kinetic buffer.
Yeah, the
Kinetic
kinetic buffer. Who in the hell would have thought that 30% on the OP was A, the only amount that you're going to get on the OP, and B, that it was map wide, that it was applicable map wide? Who in the hell would have gotten that from the damn blueprint? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And yet, we didn't know. We still didn't know until I got an answer for it. I mean,
And
why?
they haven't, and they don't fix these things after the answers are found. It's not like they go back into the blueprint and add appropriate delineation and add appropriate text.
It's even worse than that. Why must the community rely on someone that has some sort of access to get an answer, and then that person has to feed the information to the community? I don't, the only post I saw in the forums was a quote from the TFC that I had posted. I didn't see anything from Kixeye posted about it. What the hell? The multi-shot getting fixed, quote unquote fixed on the Drac Coax, even though it's freaking useless on the Drac Coax, that was never released, right? The what was the
Sulfide?
the venom, whatever the hell it was.
No,
that
sulfide
special,
deployer. Sulfide deployer.
that got fixed. Never heard a word about it until we asked. I mean, come on, man. The game is complicated as hell for the average player. Why in the hell? And I might not be much higher than the average player, but shit, I'd like to think I have a handle on some of this stuff. And honestly, I'm sitting there scratching my head a lot of times now going, what the hell?
George, you have a better handle on the game mechanics than 99% plus of the people playing the game, and I'd like to imagine
Nines? Is that what you said?
40% plus of the people that work on the game.
I don't know better than nines. Is that really,
I mean, but look,
Then
if I'm,
you flip it round and go that 99% of the people know more than nines. That's how you do that.
if I'm scratching my head, right, I can't imagine how people that play this game like far less than I do, how they're
Casuals.
feeling. Yeah, the casual player, man, how in the hell do they feel? Because holy shit.
As someone who is about to get a degree, like a bachelor's degree from an accredited university in accounting, and who has previously taken 2 years of mechanical engineering where I have worked on physics up to and including quantum mechanics, time dilation, the Lorentz constant, and all of that stuff.
Good
And,
stuff.
Kepler's planetary laws of motion and all this other stuff. And so many different types of math. Who hasn't, fuck you all. This is way harder. Like, this game is harder to understand than any of those. At least those have consistent rules.
So, hey, Brian, real quick, what's polonium?
Polonium is an element. It poisons people. It's really unstable and radioactive because it's after lead in the table.
Yep.
You want cesium, and then I'll give you the link to that show where I did the
Hey,
actual
look,
research.
this is easy. Nines, there's a miracle called Google, right? Use it.
I was hoping to get him on a rant.
How about
No, you're
Google
going to get me
is
on a
one.
rant when we get to charge Garmus.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
No, that was a special bit that I spent the whole week of free time studying up for 4 minutes of yelling. It was pretty fun, I got to admit.
They need to invent a new one called bolonium.
That's the element they're trying to sell us in the form of the former icebreaker.
That's right.
Let's see what else. The cesium scarab. Oh, what else? Wasn't there some stupid interaction? Georgia, you taught me why the difference, there's a range difference between the polonium accelerator and the retribution range, which is the range of everything else because of it's like a different kind of range. The radioactive range plus the Thor range is some weird multiplicative thing in steps, where the other way it's an additive range like you'd find on the Alpha Behemoth.
No, I think this
Didn't
was
you mention
that-
something to
I
me?
think I think me and Hefe were actually talking about trying to figure out which one it was because of the way that they did the math on the what was it?
And the
torpedo-
in-game ship.
Yeah, it was the torpedo on the Hellwraith.
Oh
with
yeah, the
all
concussive
specials.
damage versus
Yeah,
the torpedo damage was
Right.
added multiplicatively because they're different kinds.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Pro figured that out a while back.
Yep. So I mean, there's just so many strange damn things, and this is what I mean is like at this point, when we're having new mechanics every month or every other week. I mean, come on, guys, just some communication like we had last year. Last year was good. Last year we you told us ahead of time. You didn't tell us specifics, like we didn't know what the hell was coming out, but you told us how it was going to interact with the game. You told us how mechanics will work, and you explained like when the Bloodthirst first came out, we actually had a post. Hey, this is how Bloodthirst came. I mean, we had all this communication that actually let us at least have some sort of damn clue going forward. And now, I mean, it's so bad now that look, I had a build for the Icebreaker based on the previews, right? That used a Trident missile that was great in the preview. That you guys that Kix fixed the glitch in them so they would actually work properly in the targets, and then you changed the targets so that you couldn't even use the damn Tridents unless you screwed up.
Well, as far as
Change it
one
to
of the
Phalanx
solutions,
instead.
as far as one of the solutions, it would be great if Raken would make like a monthly post about what people seem to be asking about in regards to new mechanics and things of that nature.
Or
'Cause he
perhaps
does a
things
good
that
job.
might be coming down the pipeline. You might
Like
call
a
it
whip.
No, but
and draw.
I mean, that's asking more than what I'm saying. There's a lot of questions that get thrown out about the mechanics of certain things. And it'd be nice if when something new is introduced, if he could at least provide us that. Not necessarily what's coming next, because we get a little teaser from Doom Rooster, but a more in-depth explanation, I think, would be great to get from Raken or one of the game developers to write it in with their own voice and their own name behind it. I'm not going to say why that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think that would be helpful, especially with the plethora of new mechanics that are coming into the game.
Where is the state of the game post?
Yeah, that was supposed to be out in
A
what,
month
March?
ago? Like, I can understand them waiting till like mid-April because, the first 3 months of the year, and then they got to get time writing it and editing it and all that and get it out. But that still should have been out, 2-3 weeks ago.
Well,
Where is it?
I think they did that April 1st, right? They spent all their effort putting together the April 1st
I
State
think
of
I
the
know
Game
where your
/WIP.
computer rebooted. It's sick of your shit.
I thought it was coming out with the floating turret.
Oh, the one that moved. Oh no, the
Yeah.
one that moves on land.
Yeah,
it's a
the
different
L
one.
shape.
No, the
that
Wally
was awesome.
mobile thing.
That was awesome. I love
Well,
that
if
show.
we're done with the sloth, you want to move on a slide, Holsch?
I mean, can I say one last thing on the sloth thing? I think
Sure.
it's going to heavily depend on that mechanic that it's hinting at in the flavor text. If there's a scrambler that actually works, and you can keep this thing from getting killed easily from those mortars, then awesome. The only thing that worries me then is what's coming out for a long range turret to counter these. But
Yeah.
that's it. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
Yeah, we can talk more about that on Wednesday because there will be a preview for the sloth on Monday at
Yeah,
11 o'clock Kickside time.
a legitimate preview. This is like the preview.
Good luck getting in.
I think the Enervated is actually pretty interesting. it's taking into account the player desire to increase spread and splash. Like, you might not be able to hit any one particular area as well as you would be able to normally, but just the amount of map wide damage you can cause is insane. 30%
yeah.
plus 30% spread with the spread of 110 already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I'm wondering what it's going to be able to stack with.
I can put that enervated on my Zoe's Vendetta. Let's go. Let's go.
I hope it stacks with viscosity just for laughs.
Holsh, are you there?
I think they
Yeah.
forgot.
Okay, could you go to the next slide? Because what I'm thinking is this is the reason that we have the kinetic buffer, is because of the sloth. We don't know the projectile speed of the mortar, and the special slows it down even further.
I mean,
Uh,
you could sort of see a reasoning behind it, though. Just in general, giving you more time for your antis to shoot down, heck, even Liberator missiles. I don't know if it was made specifically for that, but I feel like it'd be a nice addition.
Yeah.
Am I the only one? Could you move forward a slide, Holsh?
I see
He's on-
OU10.
Yeah, he's on the
wow.
monolith now.
I see Monolith.
Wow.
Yeah, go
how
back.
come
Go
I'm-
back two. He wants you back on the one.
Yeah.
Go back one more. He wants you on that one where it says then. You want the
I must be
the
lagging
special
really
and
bad. I still
mortar.
see the sloth one. I'm not sure why that is, or how I
Change
can.
your change your bandwidth at the top. You might have when you
Slots, what's
rebooted.
that? Screen.
Yeah, when you rebooted, you might have messed up your bandwidth there
Okay.
because that happens on mine a bunch. But yeah, the enervated explosives and the torpid mortar are both up right now. Ren.
Hey, there.
What?
Sorry.
Holy crap.
You found us after all the difficulties that we were having.
Oh, were you having
Hefe,
difficulty?
your beer's here.
Oh yeah, we lost the show at one point.
Oh, wow.
Round
It-
two.
it
That's probably why
crashed.
George need two links.
Yeah. Yep. Did we lose Hefe again?
Oh gosh.
I hope we don't lose the show again. Holy shit. I mean, come on.
If we lose
No, I'm
the
here.
show,
I'm
we'll go
here.
back
I'm
to
here.
the-
There you go. All right. Have you gotten the slide to catch up to you now?
No, I'm still saying the sloth slide for some reason, but you guys can talk to it. I can look at the original.
We're
I'm
on a,
assuming-
you're on a
put-
slide titled Sloth that just has the special and the weapon on it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that, but we can go. I'm seeing the original one, but I can talk to it.
Yes. Speak to it because you had a point. Go.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out we torpid mortar with the name of it. We assume that it's going to have. I'm assuming a very slow projectile speed, and the innervated explosive even lowers that projectile speed even further.
Yep.
So I'm trying to figure out the way that somebody would drive this. Have a couple of sloths and then a tank going through. If you have that kinetic buffer, it may take a good minute at whatever range we decided, 216, for these mortars to actually hit the target. So I'm wondering if this is the reason that the kinetic buffer was put in place,
Yeah.
because otherwise it didn't make a lot of sense to me originally. Anybody else following?
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm following.
Because the tank is going to have to take a huge amount of damage if there's going to be a huge amount of time for those mortars to travel, from point A to point B.
Especially at that range.
Now you're making the assumption the mortar itself will have a high arc or slow travel speed. We know that when we have the review on Monday, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
Like I'm
called the
saying-
Sloth and the Torpid Mortar.
yeah.
I mean-
I'm just going because it's called the torpid mortar. I'm assuming that's in there. Yeah, I'm making an assumption, but I'm just trying to make sense of the kinetic buffer. That's sort of why I threw that in there.
Okay.
Because otherwise, the kinetic buffer doesn't make in my mind, doesn't make a huge amount of sense. But there's been a lot of fillers thrown into the FM. But maybe this isn't a filler. Maybe it's your best defense against the sloth mortar.
Yeah, I think maybe their idea is just to have mortars stop behaving like missiles. ER and all that stuff, and combustion system and everything. They travel faster than many missiles in the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at the damage and buffs and everything. I still don't think. I mean, you put a Pride or a Liberator. These mortars won't do anything to them. Like to blast groups of turrets and buildings. I mean, look at the splash, the extra splash buffs you can get with Red. Early aimed at killing clusters off.
Yeah, killing clusters. Yeah, if people have their base,
Something like you have a Pride or you have a Liberator in the front line.
Mhm.
Those guys killing the ships, but at the same time with that huge spread and splash, aiming at whatever's in range of your tank, your spotter. Splash and spread is just going to hit all the buildings nearby.
Yeah, it would seem that way. That's why I'm just trying to, make some sense of it and not have it be, a power creep thing. And that's why I'm just jumping to the assumption that torpid mortar means it's going to be a slow mortar. So, especially because the reload time is actually faster than what we've seen.
I mean, this feels like an incomparable, which is a good way to slow or stall power creep. It's used in a vastly different manner than we've normally become accustomed to with mortars. There's kind of a tighter area, but now it's a lot more damage over a wider area, and maybe some of your mortars will never get seen by a well-ranged anti-ship because that's how far the spread is. They'll snake through where they wouldn't have otherwise, not because they miss, the anti-mortars miss, but because they're never in range in the first place.
Yeah, and Brian, to your point about the spread, I mean, the special gives plus 30% splash. Be able
Plus
to
80,
combine that
plus 30 spread.
with
Plus 30 spread, it's 85 splash.
Yeah, so plus 30 spread. If we can combine that with combustion system, it's plus 20. So eventually we get to plus 50% spread, 110. So you're talking about 165 spread. Very decent splash of maybe 30 something.
It's
the days with mortar fire.
Well, 160 spread is 32 off center, right? Is that right?
Yep.
That's 32 off center, so.
So 64, so 3 land tiles.
Yep.
Total.
Each way, right?
Every direction.
Oh yeah, total.
All I gotta
And
say
you've
is
got-
you better. Go ahead.
And you've got a massive splash too, because 85%, even a base of 12, plus anything else, and God forbid you put other mortars on,
Yeah, I thought the hull also had a splash buff.
it might. I forget.
Yeah, plus 100.
Plus 100 splash?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and 50% spread. Oh, that's spicy.
Oh, and 50% spread. So, there you go.
Nowhere safe.
Jeez.
You're right.
For
What
anyone
about
that has,
so 50 with 30, 80% spread on a base of 110. 8 more, so that's 198. Let's say 200 divided by 5, that's 40 radius. So 80
Wow.
total.
Yeah,
4 land tiles.
this
Wow.
that's double spread if you can stack CS2 in this.
If you
So-
can, yeah. Then the splash is 100 there. 85% from the
CS2.
special, 185.
and you get 50% spread from the
Tripling the
hull.
splash.
Yeah, your splash is like 250% if you can stack CS2 in this new special, because that's
CS2,
No,
or
it's-
even if you can stack other stuff, let's say you can stack viscosity regulate.
Yeah.
Or if you
Oh.
stack narrow
Oh,
firing.
Scoot up 2 more slides to where we have all 3 of the mortars together. Now we have, what is the, okay, let me see stats. That's got a splash of, what's the red one in the middle.
The red one is the new OU, and the left one is the old OU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So we don't have
this
we don't have
one
a
doesn't have
comparison.
the.
Ah, crap.
No, I mean the splash of the
I mean, let's wait
torpid as
for
well.
let's wait for
Splash
legit.
the torpid as well.
Yeah,
Good.
let's wait for legit comparisons till we have the actual stats in game. But this looks
Yeah,
interesting. This looks fun.
I'm already thinking about other
Yeah,
matters.
200 spread, and I mean, which translates into X
Oh, I
amount of
think-
splash. Like literally, the moment you can spot anything in the central island, the central island will be taking fire.
Oh, I wouldn't even run a Liberator or a Pride to spot this. I'd run a Thrower Retribution and run that baby up there. You'd probably hit the center right off the bat.
I was thinking of Calamity Tideseeker, but you would know, Nines.
Actually,
I'm gonna be
What
looking
we
for
have to
bases
do-
where I'm gonna be looking for bases where I can use that 107 range of the Liberator to spot stuff from the outside.
We need a god tier the super speedy Ferox Fury.
I'm not
Run
gonna
that
comment.
you run that thing in.
and Hefe, the torch has been passed to Holsham the Seeker.
Okay, all right. But I mean, it's sort of that's why I'm hoping this is sort of a, as like a new what did you call it, Brian? A new, uncomparable,
Yeah,
Mortar.
incomparable.
Yeah.
Thank you, extra credits.
Yes, because I'm just thinking because it's if they do slow this down in some way because it appears to do, like what we are afraid of with the what they originally allowed you to do with the particle accelerator cannon with that splash. Because remember, originally you were allowed to put splash bonuses on the blue ball.
But that wasn't.
That was short lived. They got rid of that right away after.
Yeah, but they'd have to let this stand. This is a mortar. This is what we're used to using splash for.
No. But what I'm saying is, between the name Torpid Mortar and the fact that they're slowing down projectile speed even further, and we got the kinetic buffer, I'm just wondering if the speed of this mortar is a really big part of this. Meaning that, you may knock out somebody's base, but your tank may already be dead by the time that happens. That's my only. It just sort of seemed to make sense to me with the names of everything and some of the stats that we see. But again, I'm speculating.
If they go playing with any stats on this mortar, I hope to God they do not give it Merv ability.
Oh gosh.
That would be funny. You Merv it and it becomes a fire pool that drops. Like if you shoot down an APOC mortar, like that, fire everywhere.
Yes.
Just call it the Armageddon mortar and get it over with.
It unfortunately is Forsaken. If it was Reaver, my idea would totally work.
Oh. That's true.
What's that ever stopped him?
That's fair. At least it's Conqueror and Defender only, so we didn't have to maybe be sad about having to retrofit our monos.
Again.
Again.
Though I bet it has cheaper build time than the charged plates.
Oh.
Yeah, probably.
That-
All right,
that
let's get Brian's rant over. Let's do that
Are we
mortar
doing that?
first. I don't know what the mortar
I
side.
I don't know what order the slides are in. I don't pay attention. I look at the slides here, but I don't know the actual order.
No, go to the mortar first because I think Hefe, did you want to do the mortar and the monolith changes, or do you want to go right to the charged armor? Hefe. Fuck it, go to the charged armor. Brian's ready.
Everyone,
There it is. All right, Brian, have at it.
take a breath first.
So they said at 10 million points at the start of this raid cycle that this would be a luxury item. And they continued that trend, through the first raid of the cycle. And near the end of the second raid in the cycle, they changed it drastically. And they made this better than D5 in every way, shape, and form. There's almost no
Not
place.
really.
Huh? Randy, were you saying something?
I'm just saying if that is better than D5 in every way, shape, or form. I'm just saying not really.
Yeah, not really. That's what I was getting to, because the D5s will give you armor points, like
Okay.
actual legitimate armor points.
Yeah.
So even the explosive defense, fully retrofitted D5 gives you 18.6. This one gives you 18.
Do they actually show 18.6 in game? I feel like they cut that off
I
around here.
checked because on my first table I used 15, which is the R0 version. You get 18.6.
Okay, well, I'm kind of going to discount that because we get a free 108,000 damage. So yeah, they made this. Not only did they make this the best armor ever, but they also made this incredibly expensive, tripling the cost without, telling us, which is a major issue for people that didn't put armor on. And a lot of people like to put on armor last, even though that wasn't the case here. But a lot of people didn't bother putting the armor on in the first place because the armor just didn't work. The way that the targets were designed initially, it didn't really flow well with how the armor was supposed to do. See also cold snaps and the minimum 35 damage dealing with being pinged over and over by something that fired as fast as a cold snap does. So the damage you took was so high that people just put on D5X because the percentage damage they got and the high deflection would actually give them less damage than the D5. So it didn't matter. And maybe people didn't want it or couldn't afford it at 10 million a pop the first time and second time, even though it was slightly discounted. But that, it doesn't really matter so much. Completely changing this armor completely changes the way that they need to make these targets. And I know that they make targets based on, even though they call this a luxury item, I'd bet money that they would have made these targets based on the new armor. And they haven't adjusted the old targets to this either. See also the 112s, the 109s. The newer changes are creeping in, but they don't communicate these changes. So the thing is, not only do you have to have a good sense of game design, you also have to have a better sense of game design and foresight than the kickside designers themselves. You have to be better at predicting and knowing what the game will look like than the people who play the game. It's kind of why I made that big chart, basically implying that they didn't know what they were doing with the monolith and saying that it was third best, because for ease of driving and speed, the better choice was the Empyreans, and for pure damage, the better choice was the Citadels. Like, they didn't know what they were doing when they're making these prizes and expecting people to spend tens, if not hundreds, of real-life dollars on them. And now putting on a charged armor is $750 US. I get Chinese food for a week for $750 US. And you're telling me to put on one armor.
Wait.
Cat's cheap out in California.
Wait, how are you getting Chinese food for a week for $750?
Cat's
China
cheap.
You go down
Express
to
for
the
less.
local.
China Express for
You go
less,
down
and I
to the local Petco.
China Express for less in just off 120, and I am a tiny human and don't actually use much food.
Okay, I was trying to figure out how that happened.
Come on, I think you can all say that Brian is fuel efficient.
Yeah. There we go.
I am a hybrid. I mean,
Hybrid
sometimes I
fuel
feel like
efficient
my brain works
Brian.
like a computer.
I mean, my
Although to be
biggest-
fair, energy is measured in joules, and kcals are just another different type of measurement of joules based on food. So if you got an electric shock, you're basically getting some food. You're not getting your vitamins or whatever, but you're doing that as well. So yeah, we have to be better. There's your science tip for the day. Yeah.
Well,
so
actually, the only problem with your analysis, like you're saying, if you take an electric shock, you're taking food because it's energy. But that's like pour some gasoline on the ceiling of your car. You gotta put through the right
there's-
hole. Right.
there's an appropriate place to put gasoline in your car, and I'm not gonna take that into analogy over here. Human beings are kind of meant to take too much electricity because we kind of die, but yeah, they really need to just, and this goes back to all the things that were horrible on release,
Yeah.
like
I mean, look,
the Icebreaker, the Cesium Scarab, all this stuff. We have to basically guess on what they're going to make good based on what they'll say they make good, but we can't even trust them to fix what we should expect them to fix. The raid prizes, like the UAV, aren't fixed how many months later? Like the icebreakers were garbage
Sorry,
and they had
are
to
the
buff
UAV
those.
fixed?
Like, well, they did testing a few days ago. There's a video of it somewhere, I'm sure. Just
Yeah, Hef
use-
and George, but I thought it was still broken.
it's still broken.
It's still broken.
Yeah, it's still broken.
Oh, okay, they didn't fix it. Oh,
They
no.
didn't fix it.
They did
And you'd
not.
think
They
they
did
would
not.
because it surprised people winning a raid. Like, this is,
No, working as
because-
intended.
well, considering the fact that they've kind of hosted PvP entirely because we can't build PvP ships, you'd think they'd try to shift to their primary area of monetization being PvE, but the quality of the prizes released and their ability to fix them means you can't really trust that either. So, one, I don't know how they're making money. Two, I don't know why people would buy things that are broken upon release and hoping for a buff if buffs don't come until way after they're necessary. And three, I don't know how they're making raid targets based on like the past raid stuff versus the future raid stuff. Because again, the monolith was second in damage and also second in ease of driving until a week ago, and then it kind of became a god, at least in damage, if not in drivability. Because again, you have to assume like you can't trust the game's display for the circle forward to park your monoliths. It's offset. You have to go and take
that's-
you have
I
to
mean,
take the equivalent of a Wake Tactical module, which is a piece of shit from how many years ago? Nobody uses it anymore. Nobody knows how to use it. I'm pretty sure the new guy at Kicks Design didn't even play when that thing was around and has no
Wake-
idea what it is.
the Wake tech shows the same problem though. It's offset from where it really is.
Yeah,
They're looking
like
at it. I mean, they're looking at it now. The thing that I'm afraid of is that rather than fix the display, they're going to fix where the
they're going to make it like a
buff.
normal field.
well, no, I'm,
No.
I'm thinking
He's
they're gonna,
afraid that they're going to change it so
it matches
where
the
it
display.
shows.
Yeah.
And that would hose
I
you
will
know
quit
how
the
it
game.
actually works in the game right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you're screwed, and then a lot of us are screwed because we can't trust the game to show us how the game should be played. So we go by actual results because we can't trust our eyes, but they're making us not able to trust our results. So we have to trust our eyes, but we can't trust our eyes. So the game becomes impossible to play. The only winning move is not to play. How about a game of chess?
Yeah.
Well, yes.
So
Yes.
back to
But-
the
but
armor.
Brian, I mean, they did
we got the
make
word.
it better, right, Brian? I mean, they made it so now they changed the monolith. So now they always have the little moving up arrow showing a field of effect. So you always feel good that something's working.
We just don't know which
But-
one.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
the thing. Like, is it triggering off the grid mono or is it triggering off the other mono fields for explosive damage?
You don't need to know that. Just feel good that it's there.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna keep.
I
an
feel
idiot
like
for
that's the
sleep.
line they say before they bend me over and spread my
No,
cheeks.
that's the Apple answer for everything. No, you don't need to know the details. It's there, it's working, it's good.
Yeah,
You
but
know, I was
Apple has
asked- listen,
Apple
I
has
was-
product quality and also standards, and Kix has neither.
yeah, I was asked today to send in a pic showing where the monolith, the gridiron monolith field is actually activating stuff, right? And I'm like, I could have showed you that last week, but now that you guys have changed everything, it's impossible to show you because the damn, the up arrow is the same for both fields. You can't tell now. And they're
Yeah.
like, what do you
I
mean?
mean, I think
Oh my God.
I think the big solution is when you're actually in both fields, it starts to play really cheery music.
Have all my signs
throughout
shut
the
in.
game, and I think that would probably solve that. Holst, could you fast forward 2 clicks?
All I know is I'm gonna use the idiot-proof fleet called the Empyreans.
Yeah, can I say something? Isn't it very telling when you have like the most, in my opinion, the most fun to drive fleet in this cycle is the generalist fleet, not any of the specialist fleet. The
That's not
generic
right.
fleet, the most fun to drive.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
And
I mean, it can be the
builds the
most fun to
quickest.
drive,
Yeah.
but you kind of have to sacrifice something effective to do. But yeah, no, that's a big problem. They should have just. Why did they give it acceleration? Why did they give the monolith acceleration? And someone Ren, wasn't it
And why
you?
did
You-
and,
somebody
and
made a
why
point.
did they put the aura off the ass end of it? I mean, they,
Yeah.
because
they did a
because
lot
some
of
scrub-
things to
because
try
some
and make it
scrub
difficult.
thought it would be cool
Yeah,
to have
they put
the
the aura in
on
that
the
place
end and
where
then it would be
nobody
embedded.
keeps their back line.
Yeah, because it was December. I looked up the date that when the wake controller was put. I think it was December. It was December 20th.
14?
Yeah, I think it's 14. Yeah, it's a long time ago. I'm surprised there wasn't more of an uproar.
And it
People
was-
saw what was going on.
And it wasn't even widely used. You like sort of used it for a Reaver raid cycle, and then nobody ever used them again.
Daniel
Just
still
what I
uses
think
his.
Yeah, I was going to say Daniel was the one that was going to go off when you were on that wake tactical comment.
Oh, get him.
Can I make an analogy?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, it's like, and that's my way of explaining the monolith, right? It's like, if you are NASCAR, right? First of all, you find a circuit that's challenging, and you make the curves and everything in that circuit, the inclination, everything, so it's a challenge for the drivers, right? Then you give the drivers, within the rules, the best possible cars to tackle that challenge.
Mhm.
Right? What Kixeye did here was move the challenge from in the circuit, in the track, where the challenge should be. They moved the challenge to the car. It's like saying, hey, Mr. Jimmy Johnson, here's a car for you for that track. But we made the gearbox wobbly. So if you go on neutral for more than 1.5 seconds, you lose distance and you lose power for 5 seconds. But that's just to make, a more interesting test of your skills.
Oh, it's even better. The slowdown and speed up mechanics don't match between the monolith and the gridiron monolith.
I don't even know how you fuck that up.
I have no idea.
You literally can't copy
I
and
think it's
paste
a
properly. at that
fundamental
point.
design flaw where the challenges, the problems should be in the target, and anything you put in the ship should be part of the solution, not an additional problem for you to overcome.
Yeah, and I think it was you and Robin were talking about it last week before, on the open mic, where it was you can't really stop with the ship, but the way that we've been conditioned to drive mortar fleets for the past year and change is you get into range and you stop. But if you stop, you lose your speed. And if you go too slow, you get wrecked by all this stuff.
And you can't
So you
kite.
have to you can't kite them. You can't like stop.
Cold
You got to do
snaps will
some.
hit you. Yeah, I mean, you can't. You can't take advantage of it.
You
And-
almost have
and
to
there's-
drive them like cannoneers.
And they're still assuming that nobody ever has a connection problem, or that their garbage flash system will keep a hold of their game, especially when they're putting so many objects into the target. Like that's another thing. There's so many
causes a
just
lot of lag.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, unnecessary buildings and such. I mean, yeah, you kind of need them for the icebreaker, but that's a lot of lag and just a lot of slowdown. And if you're
But if
moving
they are
ships that fast,
static
cool,
buildings,
second,
it's
you're
not a
dead.
problem. The problem is when they move, like all the turrets, like they have the little move where they try to track your ships and move. Those actions are what adds to lag big time.
Yeah, I had to spend about $6 to be able to complete the TLC because right there in number 7, when it pops up the third platform, I got a lag spike every single time.
Yeah, I last time I did Price Pack 4 yesterday, I was able to finish it for free. Like I went from beginning to end with my Cannoneers, and I finished with 3 Cannoneers alive.
Usually I could do something like that, but on rotation 5, number 6, like some weird lag thing happened and my ships froze and I couldn't move them, and radioactive rain.
Yep,
And
Nice.
that's what happened
yeah.
to me.
I got it down where I just keep on using pinches. I'll go in, come out, go in, come out, and I think I finished with 4 hours of damage, and didn't lose a ship.
all 7,
Even
huh?
on number 7?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
That's
what I
impressive.
did with 7 is I went to the all the way outside and into the corner, let everything pop up, and I killed the last platform first, right? And then I came in the second time, ran away, got shot once while I pinched the other one, and again you only get shot like twice coming in both times, and you just work your way back in. I'm a lazy bastard, man. I don't screw that crap. And going back to look, I want to make a point on this C5 armor. I'm really upset that we didn't have a grace period about taking them off of our icebreakers if we built our monoliths, because I have lost so many days trying to refit shit and get stuff off and put it on that I'm yet again not going to have a complete fleet like I wanted for the raid.
But don't you have those 3-day tokens to help?
Not enough. It's not enough. I invested my time right at the beginning on the gridiron to make sure I could rank it. I got a 20-day token that does me nothing.
That would be so much better if it were like 4 or 5-day tokens or any other more granular kind of token. 120 days, one shot. I think they did on purpose.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
I'm legitimately waiting until. Well, technically, I guess I could even wait until the raid starts and just holding on to that token and seeing what the heck is going on, and then pop the token to swap my tank out proper.
Yep.
I'm also saving.
That token is great for people who want to build the monos now. But let's say you do price pack 5, you get the gridiron now, you get a 20-day now, but then you don't have enough charged armor, so you want to get them in the raid. So there goes. You can, use your 20-day token now, and now you don't have free time to add the armor later. It's a catch-22 there, right?
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't give us a second one, because these are all going to be FM targets, and if the gridiron is our tank, why are we limited to just one now?
Yeah, I mean that's what I've been thinking today. I mean, I brought it up on Wednesdays. Like, it would have made everybody happy if they had upped the limit to 2 with this TLC. But
what you have to do, you see, you have your grid and your monos, right? So you drive your grid a little bit ahead, and you somehow have to get your monos that are tankier because of the gridiron's field into the front line without losing the field to take the fire. Because they're tankier, you see. They've got that extra deflection from the field. That's how you do it.
We learned this on the Dukes of Hazzard, where you just flip the back end around, you pull the emergency brake, pull it back around, and have the ass end of your gridiron while your monoliths just go and tank that thing.
I'm going to call my monolith General Lee now.
Doing that, or it doesn't work.
Or better yet, for everybody.
The gridiron's going to be called the General Lee. That's what it's going to be.
Oh, there's the skin. Game over. General Lee skin. We're done.
Hey, George, they want you to drive your monos, kill your gridiron, and then go around and kill your icebreakers for the second run.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not doing skins, because the art team has been doing amazing work. Every time we see some art, we're like, oh my God, that's awesome. Yet they're not monetizing. Their art team is better at doing their job, I feel, than their design team is, and their balancing team.
I have to say that new one that the sloth is not like that looks like. No.
Brian, they had to outsource. They had to outsource design to the arts department to get it to work right.
That explains it.
Now, you were talking about the sloth. The main problem, the sloth is already having a bad start because it kind of reminds me of the Neptune.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Oh,
that's not a good
forgot about
start.
that whole entirely.
I was looking at it like it looks like something shitty.
It looks like something I didn't like, and I go like, oh yeah, the Neptune.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The good old assault hull Neptune.
Anyone still actually got those, by the way?
No.
I never.
I think I own one, but I haven't built one.
Yes.
Do you have the heavy weapon? Do you have the death scythe and the heavy death scythe whatever.
It was the fleet that Kixeye gifted me when I returned to the game.
Oh,
Fleet of
they give you Neptunes?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, it was good. It was a pretty
No,
good.
it's not.
It was a pretty good fleet when I came back. It did everything.
When did you? Oh, okay. So before the divide. Okay, that's reasonable or
The
something.
Great Divide.
Dun, dun, dun.
Did they give you the heavy weapons on it?
No, they didn't give me the heavy. I didn't get the heavy weapons till that raid. We got them when they re-released it.
Hey, Hefe,
Pro tip: don't
Yes.
heavy weapon.
you ready for this one? Because this one is all you, dude. You can explain this one away.
Oh, does anybody want to talk about it? I mean, we talked about it on Wednesday as far as the slide goes.
We can skip it. I don't give a crap. It's up to you.
No, but I'm just curious if anybody, anybody wants to talk about like what happened when they transitioned the charged armor.
Can I just mention 10 million points?
Yep.
10 million points.
That's not the point. 10
Yeah, I
million
just
points
wanted
is
to
not the
correct.
problem.
In a
So
day and a
people who
half.
couldn't spare 10 million points before can't spare them now, and people who could spare them before could now. The problem is now they took freaking 7 weeks to make the change. I have the armor in all the wrong places because of that, and they treat people the time to build the armor, so the remove and re-add time now is like through the
Stupid. It's
Exactly.
absolutely stupid.
George, it
Also,
ain't
if you-
2 million, it's 200 million. Remember?
They're 10 million each, and the thing is what is it? A 3.5 hour difference in build time from the D5s. I mean, what did we pay for? I mean, the deflection got cut. I mean, that's why I wanted to. Yeah, I kind of do want to go over this one because
you paid for
Early
shorter
access.
spare times, and you paid for more room for weapons and specials. That's what you paid for.
Yeah,
And you paid for
I mean,
early
I mean-
access to a product to test.
Yes, true.
Yeah, we
I
paid
mean,
to get-
but we did spend I think we did spend like 2 to 2.5 Brazilian points. That's an old George Bush thing.
either way. I mean,
and it ties in elsewhere. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, for 10 million points, I would expect at least the build times to be lower, or at least, I mean, at least give us a grace period to take them off of icebreakers to put on the monoliths, or fit them on at the old, if you're still working on the monoliths and put on D5 stuff. I mean, something to offset, essentially, a Kix design change because of an oops. It was according to them, they changed this because of a glitch, and if that's the case, then why are we suffering for it?
Well, at least these things at 10 million points work better than the icebreaker at 90 million.
Very
Yeah,
true.
but how many do you actually need to use though? Either one, they're not. I don't
So
think
the
that's the
icebreaker
issue.
now
I
may
don't-
make a comeback, with the new 84 target.
I just don't think, I don't think the issue as far as, there's two issues. One, you didn't get what you bought. And number two, to use what you bought is costing you way more than what you were presented with. It feels dishonest as far as the way they did it, because I really don't believe, personally, that they did this it was purely based on player input. I don't feel that way. Because people bitched about a lot of things, and I don't.
No, this amount of change is not player input.
Yeah, and
And after all that, it cost you 2 days to fix it.
2 days per plate. Yeah,
Yeah, 2 days per plate.
yeah. But what I tried to do in this table is try and show you where the changes happen. And basically, you're better off with the new version of the charged armor on high salvo weapons and weapons that don't do a lot of damage. But if you start, once things start to escalate as far as damage goes, the older version, at least the way it was designed and the stats were presented, was more advantageous, especially on low salvo weapons. And that's all I was trying to get through with this.
Yeah, my comment on that, Hef, is just that we had before a branch, two options there, right? A fork where you go, okay, I'm going to go D5X and this is what I'm getting, or I'm going to go C1X and I'm getting a completely different concept with the shield and whatnot. Now that the C1X or M are just like the traditional D5X, D5M in terms of most of the buffs and a small shield, their biggest advantage now is that they don't add repair time and they're lightweight. So now on the same ship, if I choose the limited armors, and that's when, in my mind, they move from a luxury item to a bit of a game changer.
Yeah.
Because the moment I replace a D5X with a C1X and I get the same deflection buff, the same resistance buff, I get 0 repair, but I also get returned to me about 300 tons times all the special multipliers. In some cases, you're getting 600 ton back that you can now put an extra mortar, an extra heavy countermeasure. So your ships just become that much better because of your attack gains when you replace one armor for the other.
Yeah. And that's all in good if that's the way it was when when we went underneath the Christmas tree on Christmas morning, and that's the way it was. But now we're forced to take everything back to the store, wait hours days in the store in order to get what we now have. Can I make the Christmas reference since you're a Canadian making NASCAR references? No, I'm just. It's just sort of like if it came out if it came out that way, then it makes this makes a lot of sense. But it didn't come out that way, and so many people have adjusted their builds radically to accommodate the old thing, and there doesn't seem to be. And they sort of spit in your face when in addition to we're going to change everything radically and change your strategy, what we've also done is we've tripled the build time.
Yeah, with 10 days to go for next raid.
Yep. There are 0 fucks given. That's what it seems like.
Well, I'm not going to say 0. I'm going to say not enough fucks given because they did magically make the 3-day build tokens pop up for most people.
3 weeks ago, yeah. It started
before
this.
Week. It started
last week for me. That's when I noticed a lot more
it started
people.
for me 3 weeks ago. Is when it started for me.
Yeah,
3
so I'm
weeks
not going to say
ago, 3 weeks
0.
ago, you couldn't get a token.
They gave people the chance to win monolith tokens, which doesn't help with my Empyrean problem. This is where I have the charged armor now. But, so I'm going to say not enough fucks given because I'm still left with like 10, 15 days of refits if I want to put things in the right places that I want them to be now.
I mean, a 3-day token is what, 6 armors taken off? And
Well,
Off of
assuming
one
before
ship,
you get a
though.
1 day token, the surplus is only 2 days per token. So let's say if you got the 3-day token both times this week, you're getting 4 extra days, which is 2 armor plates.
Right, which is not enough to do shit, honestly.
Like I said, I'm just saying it's not 0 fucks given, it's not enough fucks given.
And
Right.
there's those people that don't even get tier 5 yet that have charged armor. And
Yep.
But I'm assuming people who don't get tier 5 tokens didn't get the charged armor in the first place.
New
probably-
players that are coining are
Boom.
not
And
not
that's
in that
actually,
situation that Ulsh is describing.
yeah, and that's a good point that I I don't know that I can stress this enough, but the changes that they're making are not really affecting the lower level players or the players that don't coin a lot. It's affecting the people that actually coined these builds, coined the stuff to get. I mean, I don't see this as a good path to go down. I mean,
Yeah, it has a broader impact, George, because I mean, when we first saw the armor, like Hefe said, I mean, it had one spec. Everyone came up with a few strategies where that could fit in a niche. And overall, the comment was, you know what, that's just a nice to have. Nobody really needs that. But with the changing specs, now it's like, oh, you know what, that's really good now.
Mhm.
So people missed chances, let's say in the last raid of last cycle, where people probably had their fleets matured enough and knew the targets enough, and a lot of people just, yeah, I'm not going to go for that. No, everybody's saying it's not really that good, so whatever.
Right.
And you can go back and say, oh, I wish I had gotten them then, because now they're good.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
comparable as far as, George brought up screwing over the people that were coining stuff. Is this bigger or smaller? Because as I recall, there was no compensation for the frontline countermeasures people. And I think the original stat was at 75% turret defense.
Yeah, it was something like that. They put the some damage stuff, whatever, in the wrong place. You're right.
Yeah. And then and at least as what was reported outside, in the forums and whatnot, people whining about it, they were not compensated in any way for, coining on something that was way overpowered. I mean,
Yeah.
75% turret defense was.
Yeah,
was
you're going
crazy
to
to
God
put on
mode. You're going God
Yeah.
mode.
Yeah.
But still, it's not as bad as this one, because you're just saying, oh, you know what, we're nerfing one number because it's too strong. Here they're saying, oh, we're fundamentally changing the mechanic
The
of
mechanic.
the item.
Yep. And I had someone actually mention the other day that, oh, well, they ran the Odyssey campaign so you could actually, fix your monoliths and this and that. I'm like, no, they ran the Odyssey campaign because they buffed the monolith, and they're giving people the chance to get them now that passed on them before because Citadels were better.
Yeah, that's right. As a side effect, people who already had them can get some tokens and fix some stuff. But like I said, if my
still
existing
not
armors are on
enough.
my Imperials, I can take them from there without paying.
Yep.
The 10 days to go in 2 days or 6 hours to take each one of them off.
It's a piss poor.
So it's not pleasing. It reminds me of the other debacle on the previous cycle where they released the Cannoneer but not the gun, not the special, and in the end, their way of patching that was to put a time-limited offer where you could buy the gun.
Yep.
That was
But
It's
those
kind of the
I think
same
I
thing.
actually
You know,
mentioned
pay the
that.
full when you can pay for it if you want.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that on Tuesday, that it reminded me completely of the whole Cannoneer thing. I mean, this, and the problem, the bigger problem that we're going to run into at the end of this cycle is that this turns into the FM, and it's still not. I mean, this cycle has not been hammered out yet, and we're about to start the second of 3. 2 out of 3 sucks. I mean, this is not how you do. I mean, the transition into the FM is like a fundamental cornerstone of the game now. You can't screw this up without screwing up the entire game. And they still haven't hammered this shit out.
Yeah, well, they still have like a month and change to go, and if they delay switching the targets by another month, maybe they have 2 months to get it right for FM.
Yeah, we hope. But
Yeah.
after
Just
seeing
like
what
the
they did with
Scourge, they've delayed the Scourge by what, 2 months, putting them
Yeah.
in. Right.
But I
file?
see. The thing is, though, is that everything, there's no power creep in the targets after they get released into our chore thing. So it's not going to get progressively easier. It's static, And as we saw with the Reaver armadas, they didn't take that into account. They just upped the damage. I mean, there's no clear adjustment coming down when it goes to chore. That worries me.
Has anyone actually hit 75 Reaver Armada since they came out?
Oh, I do all the time.
Okay, that's not using Hell Race.
No, I just unleashed the Tide Seekers and I send them on autopilot on the 75s and the 102s to gather uranium and leave them to repair overnight.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't even drive.
Problem is, we'd have to drive now because icebreakers can't auto 184.
Well, neither can the ironclad,
Close
and
to-
that's my big gripe with the ironclads. Like I was really looking forward to autoing things to do the chores,
Yep.
and it worked really well with the armadas and uranium. Like I have zero problems with, and by the time my uranium storage is full, I have about 4-hour repairs on my tide seekers. I don't care, right? But you just can't do that with the ironclads. You saw my video. Like on a 67, my ironclads already melt.
I hope to God they figure out what the hell they're doing before the assault cycle comes around, because Hyperions right now are almost a dead thing in the game. Imagine how bad it would be if people can't farm titanium.
But Nines, I agree with you, but at the same time, I think that we're talking like almost two different universes here. Because the Hyperion stuff and getting titanium is a high-end thing that few people do. Now, like George said, they have to get the FM right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm honestly okay if they screw up with the titanium targets and takes them 3 months to fix. I mean, it's going to piss off maybe 2,000 players. What happens if they screw up the FM targets?
But those 2,000 players, I'm sure, are a lot more percentage of their revenue share.
You're right.
And more active.
You're right, but if the game doesn't have a minimum critical mass of active players, those 2,000 just go away all the same.
Yep.
Well, they don't seem to be caring about that.
Polish, can
And that
you
is the
go
worry.
to
That's the
Polish,
worry.
can you go to slide 16?
I
I
like
haven't
why
seen
bugged
the
out.
bug girl. Where's the bug girl? Hold on. I still haven't seen the bug girl yet.
Wait. There we go.
Because I think we should talk about the Odyssey.
Yeah, I like her. Okay, you can continue now.
Okay.
Just needed to break up the monotony.
I don't know why
The odyssey of getting out of the friend zone with her, I guess, maybe. The epic journey.
I wanted, some other opinions on, I'm in a situation where I own a Gridirons monolith and it's skull. And I have I have 4 monoliths that are also skulled and mostly built. Does anybody have a trust deficit enough, or even like this as a hint, to go all the way to, if it doesn't cost you anything but time or some minimum amount of coin, to go all the way to Prize Pack 5 just to get the 20-day?
Yes, I am.
I
did.
Yeah.
I did. I'm waiting until Tuesday or like during the raid to pop that thing after people try the actual targets, because they could change things on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They could change things.
Well, I have
You
a
know.
whole other idea.
Uh-oh.
I'm just like
Okay.
Brian. I'm just going to wait 2 days into raid, grab a couple extra charged armors, see what's really working, and then pop that token.
Yeah, I'm leaving four of the 1 day monolith tokens I'm going to leave in. And maybe I'll need to swap out specials or whatever. But I can't afford to do that with the charged armor, because even that, that's still 2 days of the raid done, just putting a charged armor on with speed up tokens. Thanks, Kix.
Yeah,
May-
I went all
maybe-
in. I spent all of my tokens trying to refit as much as I could of the monoliths. I still am going to have to use tokens from the raid to finish them. But I'm keeping that 20-day token just in case they let us have a second one.
Yeah, there we go. George is the winner on what I was suggesting. I mean, if at some point in the future they up the level, up it to 2, that 20-day build token is going to be quite sweet to
Sweet and
own.
gold. Yep.
Yeah.
But, well, I'm just wondering if they do have it to where you can get a second one, wouldn't they run the same campaign again with the token?
Not
Well, and then with
necessarily.
and then with 40 days, you can get that whole thing built out the way you want. 20 days ain't gonna get done. Let me be honest. 20 days and you your hull's not built.
I love wasting 15 days of build time.
Yep.
When they keep exacting, they want us to have these amazing builds and down to perfection, but they keep changing everything, and so now we have to refit all this crap on that we didn't because it wasn't good before. Like, if we can't, take results if we can't use our results, what can we use? So,
Yeah, we don't have the information. Yeah,
that goes back to what we were discussing before about damn communication. I mean, this is not like last year we had a semi idea. We're constantly in the dark.
And the thing is,
I'm surprised I don't have mushrooms growing out of my ass at this point.
Yeah, I mean, communication, more what I would like to see is documentation. So, some sort of wiki or something that they provide outside of the minimal and inaccurate information that we get in game, that they, the game developers write up how everything is supposed to work and they keep it up to date. And it doesn't seem to be that difficult because they have the information. We don't have the information.
I don't think they have the spare money to pay people to do that.
Yeah,
And
I was going to say two
and
things.
the community doesn't like the game enough to actually make one. There is one, but it's outdated and abandoned.
Two things about that, Heavy. Do you really actually want to put more on them when they're already screwing up this bad? And two, do you really think if they gave someone the job to do that, they actually understand the shit?
Well, that's why I asked. That's why I asked that there were, originally earlier in the show, I asked that, that one of the game developers, Raken, or the guy that likes to snarl at people, one of those guys would make a post every month and explain the new mechanics in the game, the details, the mechanics of the game. Somebody that's, like I said, put their name behind it. And this is the way it's going to work. So there's a pride associated with it.
Someone to hold accountable if it doesn't. Well, no, we can't really hold the designer accountable.
Well, you can't count it, but
you could sort of.
That person, if that person had the idea, they might fight a little bit more to keep it that way. I mean, they might lose their jobs. That's happened before for people that, there's a lot of people that didn't want there to be more than 3 specials.
Yeah, but
now we're at 6. What?
If they write that up, can you imagine how many people are going to get banned out of the forums when they say, hey, it's not working like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been banned from the forums. George has been banned from the forums. Did you put those bars over you just by yourself, or did they do that to you?
He copied Carlo in the forums.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that took a while to do.
Yeah, okay. But yeah. I mean, several people have been banned from the forums because they bring up inconsistencies in the game. Some of us have been banned permanently. Some people like to just put tramp stamps on themselves to look like us, but whatever. I'm not going to get into that.
That's what the kids do nowadays.
Yeah.
Post the tramp. All right. Oh, man.
Well, apparently his base has been beaten so many times in the last week, he's getting run over.
They're just running train on him.
Yeah, geez.
Whatever that guy's name was.
I'll just take it to the logical conclusion of that joke so we can move on.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, but as far as the Odyssey goes, if you own everything, I mean, basically 1 to 3, if it's costing you coins, is the way to go. But if you're able to do it without any coins, go ahead and do 4 and 5. You're not going to regret it. Well, you're not going to regret any coin you spent because you're not spending any. But you potentially could regret it if you don't do it, is all I'm saying. And I would recommend if, not if you're out there spending, I know some people are really struggling with this. And if it's costing you 100 coins to do this, don't go to Price Pack 5. I mean, Price Pack 3, even 100 coins is worth it if you need something done on your monolith build, because it's going to be 480 coins worth of tokens that you're getting. So that's going to pay off.
Yeah, you could probably also put a price or a monetary value on the DXP tokens.
But not what Kix puts on them, because Kix is
Crazy.
No, their price for DXP is out of whack. That's what. But there's some monetary value in that.
God forbid
Yeah,
they go
wasn't it
back
like
and fix it.
$100 for 2 Scald monoliths or something like that?
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, but because I mean earlier, earlier in the week, people were like, "I'm not doing Prize Pack 5," but I still, at this point, think if it's not costing you, go ahead and do it. I mean, it's stressful. I mean, especially if you had a bad connection, it's really stressful because today I went through Prize Pack 3. But yesterday I went through Price Pack 3, and once I went through 1 through 5 fine, and then 6 I started, my ship started going backwards and going off the screen. Then that's when it gets really, really stressful in my mind. You're not driving, and then all of a sudden, end of battle, and you're like, okay, what happened? Sometimes I didn't take any extra damage because the direction I put in before worked out. But sometimes I've lost 3 cannoneers, and that's not,
So
Yeah, I had lag on Price Pack 4. I think it was battle number 5.
Mhm.
It's the one that was a 75 in rate, and that was the 99.
So League of Legends, what they do when you disconnect is they'll wait for a second or two, and they will walk you back to the nearest giant stone turret that is built to protect you, and then make you recall and teleport your character back to home base so that nothing terribly stupid happens to you. Also, when their death is temporary, in terms of a few seconds, which is very different than this. But I feel like they could have some sort of connection, or they should have some sort of connection monitoring thing where if you drop out, they'll have your fleet turn away and escape. They're never going to do it, but I wish they would, considering how garbage their platform is and how garbage their connection is and how costly of a mistake any error is, both in terms of your absolute fleet health. See also 1 rain down of the giant radioactive cannon, and see also 16-hour repair on my cannoneers is $3.20, which is
And you can easily do that.
And
yeah,
I mean,
and it's not even our fault.
as much as they blame our computers, I mean, they got to give us some leeway.
Oh no, that's.
I don't think.
want to admit-
That's part of the connection fact. I mean, let's say the connection is out of their control, but you have to develop the system in a way that says, you know what? Let me account for some people having bad connection sometimes. What can we do to mitigate that? Right? That's quality.
Not the scorch targets. Pretty much. With the walls popping up, that's the worst part.
GDQ high level speed running lag reduction strats needed to play this game. Also a degree in math. Also,
Which I have.
Yes. Congratulations on your difficulty. Also, watch all the videos of extra credits and then understand game design and think about it. And because as mentioned earlier, you can't take things at face value. You have to take things on what the designer's intent is now and what the designer's intent is going to be in 6 weeks when everything is underperforming.
And best example of that was Icebreaker's performance in the preview when we first got him.
Yeah, they
That-
were interesting back then, eh?
That's just how sadistic the designers want to be. It's not exactly the same, but it's not too
I
different.
don't
either.
think it's the designers at that point. It's the guys, the bean counters or whoever makes the decision of how much money should we make off of each target or whatever.
Yeah. I kind of want to defend my profession, but I also kind of think that they should not be responsible for making decisions.
No,
Those
it's,
decisions.
again, you're right. I mean, it's their jobs to say, hey, how can you maximize revenue? And somebody there should say, oh, it's their jobs to say, up to what point this is fun. The
Yeah,
problem
like-
is like if one side is getting
That balance doesn't exist. It's not how can we make this fun. It's how can we maximize revenue. And I mean, they're a business. I get it. You want to make all the money, but the money that you make is based off of a very subjective factor of fun and desire to spend money and, time on investment. Like, your players aren't stupid. I don't think anyone has intentionally bought, your
Oh well.
VXP.
I mean,
VXP
I've seen a
limited-
lot of stuff in comms that disagrees with that, but go ahead.
Okay.
I like their offers. I mean, I really like the fact that they keep offering daily deals and time limited offerings, because to me that is an extremely not intrusive way of making money.
Oh yeah, those are fine. I'm sorry, I misspoke. What I should have said was, people never actually coin ranks at full price outside of preview.
Yeah, there's
Correct.
one or-
There's a couple people.
Well, they're broke.
I mean, they're all friends of Nines because we.
They might be broke, but their bank account's much better than yours.
Yeah, and I was going to say they probably hit Holst this week.
Oh. Oh gosh, yeah.
Well, there's low hanging fruit, and then there's challenges.
Yeah, I mean it is interesting. How do you attract the most aggressive corner, and
PvP and ego.
Yep.
Metal
Ta-da.
system.
We're done.
yeah. Well, and also
I love that.
the fact that they keep the basis of the VXP program in place.
Yeah, I think VXP was a very bad thing. I mean, when VXP was up to 25% bonuses was good. When they up to 75%, in my mind, in many ways, it broke the game.
They broke it, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since they didn't know for 6-8 months how they broke it. It took
Yeah.
them a long time to figure out.
To realize that the 75 bonus, the way they calculate it, is actually almost like a 300% gain, right?
Yeah, it's 400%.
400%.
400% gain, whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they just thought it was 100%, and they were all cool with that, and everybody figured out, no, it's 400%.
Yeah.
Yeah, personally, I think they should just remove it from the game, but and just incorporate it in.
But now they made it into a nice stream of revenue, so you're not going to see that going away anytime.
Yeah,
that's
VXP
true.
Weekend is actually, at least in theory and probably in practice, good value for the money.
Well, it's the point in the game where I spend the most money. Like I
Yeah.
spend more money on the XP Weekend than I do on Raid. I do my Raid real cheap. Then I spend money coining repairs on some ships to get them ranked. Although I stopped, with the Cannoneers taking 12 hours to repair, that's where I drew the line. I'm like, yeah, screw that. I'm not coining those repairs.
Oh, that's right. And there were siege targets, so you had to run in and kill. Oh, now I'm sad
That was-
again.
That
Yeah.
was the sad-
That's why I only had my Cannoneers at 70-something% in the last raid of the cycle. Like I did first raid at 50-something, the other at 60-something, and so on. Because
yeah.
it's just ridiculous to expect you to coin 10 hours of repairs to gain the XP.
I'm glad.
But
they
the
got-
Conquerors are cool. I mean, it's half an hour, 1 hour each. I'll coin that.
Except they upped the VXP on those, so it takes even longer now.
And they've reduced the VXP payouts on the the targets, because now you can deal damage to them. The problem is, all of your Conqueror weapons are meant to deal damage to buildings, not ships, and you have 125,000 armor to deal damage against. So that doesn't quite work. That's still okay though.
No, I mean it's working out, but it's stressful for a lot of people as far as
I mean, I figure.
and it's not well explained. They have to go to because one of my problems is they have to go to the shows to understand things.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem in the game is the lack of information accessible to players in the game itself. a massive problem. Like every single time I see a post asking for an X tank build, I twitch. But then I remember, it's like, this guy doesn't know how to build a tank. There's like hundreds of thousands of posts about building a tank, but the thing is, there's no way for them to know that. There just isn't one. And it's expected of them, but the game doesn't tell them how to do the thing the game expects them to do. And for a lot of other games, that's the point where the player just quits.
Yeah, because I mean, what I think about the people that watch these shows, I think 95% of them don't need to watch it. I think 95% of them are into the game, they're knowledgeable, and they're looking for that like 1% bonus in how they play the game by listening to all these people. And they may get a lot of good points along the way. But it's the people that don't go to these shows that are doing just stupid stuff. And it's more where I feel that Kickside needs to step in and provide more just basic information to these players.
Yeah, we're doing more to help the people, but we're not reaching the people that we should be
Really
reaching and need to be reaching. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Now
reaching
I'm
the
thinking
one,
of,
we're reaching the 1%ers. And we're making the 1%ers better, I think, on this show. But we're not making we're not making the 5% any better.
And then you have the people that do not watch the show that are building ships from 4 cycles ago and complaining about the game.
But probably a whole lot of those people don't even know these shows exist.
True.
And I'm saying that because I've been in this game for 5 years, and I've only really known about these for the past 1 year.
Yep. Same here. Or actually, less than a year for me.
Yep. And my game has, and I'm lousy, okay? But my game has improved, I'll bet 500%, just from kind of listening and asking questions. And I still don't know what half of the mechanics are in the game. Now, I'll freely admit that.
it's okay. Neither do okay, I've ragged on them enough, but a lot of people don't know a lot of the mechanics either.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the reason you see me on most of these, and also why I don't say much, because I don't like to say things I don't really know something about.
I mean, I had a level 100. Oh, go
I
ahead.
do know that I don't know. I don't know what I don't know, basically, on this game. That's the
I had a
point.
level.
Now,
I mean, to be
I had
fair,
a
I also don't know what I don't know, and I frequently question what I do know, because what I do know might be wrong now, even
Yeah.
from, 2 weeks ago, when it's like, oh, yeah, the monoliths, they're just not that good, and now they're amazing. That's
you have a
wrong.
good basis. You have a good
Well,
basis.
they're not amazing. They're so weird to drive. Oh, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying they're still weird.
Yeah. Why did they have acceleration?
I mean,
Exactly. The
I don't-
Apollos, it served a very clear purpose. You accelerate, you get their speed. Now you can go in, fire, and get out before those delayed scatter guns on the mega hull fired. So there was a
We're
clear,
dri-
there was a problem in the target. The acceleration was the solution to that problem. Now it's just like, let's throw that in there just to make it challenging for
Why
no
are
good
we?
reason.
Yeah, why are we driving a garrison ship like an assault ship, even though the two are diametrically opposed?
And you can't make them all.
Oh, this has mostly ships and a few buildings, and this is literally the exact opposite, but it's the same mechanics.
Again, the best fleet to drive in this cycle are the Zemps. I just like driving them.
Good old Zemp Prime.
Yeah, the Zamperam's good. I mean, I like their speed. They're fast. They stack together. I managed to get them same speed. They just lack firepower, but that's besides the point. I hope they're still good for the 80s, because that's what I'm planning to use the most.
I mean, well,
I
I was going to say that that's a tier 5 ship and a tier 5 target, but, we took the icebreakers into the best target last time, and, well, we don't talk about that day.
Yeah, I personally, I am advertising tier 4.5 Punisher T-shirts in case anybody would like to own them.
When you don't know where the heck to put something, you put a decimal in and hope they don't notice.
Yeah. But
No,
yeah,
so-
in case anybody wants to buy a Punisher T-shirt,
No, what you do is
I
you
own the
sell
fucking raid. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
sell the Visagos Punisher T-shirt and say, "I survived the Visagos Punisher. I survived."
Yeah,
Picture of
yeah.
Visagos Punisher.
Now, who is the one guy that's going to buy that shirt? Who survived it? They've all quit the game. I mean, when
No,
they
but
I'm sorry,
They
go ahead.
spent $50 million on it back in the Forever Day.
Yeah, and then they
When did that go to?
released it only for it was a 6 million point prize at one point. And they took all those mid-level people and gave them a 45-day build, and they're out of the game. I'm assuming most of the people are in the game. Anybody in YouTube chat that built a Visagos Punisher and still plays the game,
Scratch their balls.
We're sorry.
yeah, but please give us a thumbs up that you've done that. Because I think all those people quit the game after winning that, building that, and putting all their hearts and hopes into the Visagos Punisher.
Well, and I think a lot of people who trusted the Ironclads are also not around anymore because they kind of suck.
Yeah, like these auto holes are the way to get people that are behind into the raid cycle. And these are typically the prizes that Kicks will give to returning people. So you're giving people who come back something that inherently doesn't work and doesn't do what is advertised. How do you expect them to stay around? You don't,
Yeah.
because you shouldn't.
I mean, when you go on a level 67 Scourge mine now for base parts with Punishers, and the Punishers take less repair time after hitting 67 than Ironclads, there is something wrong, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, what is the Punisher going on almost 2 years now?
December
Yeah.
2015.
Year and a half, yeah.
Yeah, so a year and a half haul is doing better than the new auto target.
Yeah, the
Something
January 2017.
Oh, Ironclad buff incoming. Ironclad buff incoming.
I hope to
Got
God.
it.
I hear enough
They
people
could-
complaining because they built 5 of them in the thing and they don't have cannoneers.
They could do something like they did with the icebreaker in the preview.
Well,
I mean,
think
how far in this DLC, the Odyssey, how far can people reasonably get without breaking the bank with Ironclads? Can they do price pack 2? I couldn't do price pack 1 when I tried my 4 Ironclads.
Okay.
Caesar, I think he's got the full fleet, special built and everything. I think he was doing up to prize pack 3 or 4.
One of the key things is to take out all the longer range turrets with your icebreakers and bring in like a Punisher or something that outranges the short range turrets that are
Wrong.
left over.
So, but then you're still talking about, hey, I still need that ship from a year and a few months ago to help me finish the target because the brand new one won't survive the target. Because when I tried just Ironclads, right, they could not finish price pack 1.
All right. I'm out of here, guys. We actually
And
got
I'm
to
not
the
saying
20 minutes.
Ironclads with Millennium Guns.
Oh,
and
is Robin
stuff.
kicking you out?
Huh?
Is Robin kicking you out?
No, I actually have to
Oh.
leave. I have plans to
Happy
make.
birthday,
Oh.
Brian.
Are the plans we talked about?
No. The troll plans?
Does Robin want in?
No,
run
well,
for the week,
Brian's leaving, but I'm curious where Brian's
Oh,
going.
that- well, I guess
Brian, are you
because it
going-
is this show, I guess my college is hosting their rainbow prom, and these are not my plans, but I thought it was funny that if I wanted to, I could go to a drag show on my birthday that is being held by my college. So the strat for me now is I'm going to go see my best friend, and I'm going to cold open with, hurry, we're going to go see a drag show, and watch her face. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
Good option.
I think you should live stream this.
So, Brian,
I think
before
we
you
know
go,
James.
Question.
before you go, Brian, I have a random question for the whole panel here,
Okay.
and I could not find the answer. The Harlock Alpha Behemoth. Does it trigger resonance?
I don't think the blueprint says
It
that.
doesn't
I have
even
no
have-
idea because I haven't built one.
The
It doesn't
blueprint
have a
doesn't say
tactical-
calls or true anywhere, but it has some auras, some effects. And I don't know if they trigger resonance. or
Flagship
not.
effect. I would say if it doesn't say yes, I would assume no.
I'm
I
assuming
feel like
no. I
it
just
literally.
wanted to know if anybody has better
Mm.
information.
I have no clue.
Okay.
I honestly know like one person who's built it and hates it.
Well, yeah, but yeah, you also have the guy that knows a guy that knows a guy. you
Hey,
know.
Brian. So one question for the panel and for the audience. Which door are you going to be leaving through?
You won't know that because I'm leaving. Bye bye.
No, but the strippers are going to pop out of one door,
I
right?
think I know. That's right. He did-
Well, that's still not going to be live.
Oh,
Seriously,
no,
I have
no.
I
Leave
have
the-
limited.
Hey, Brian,
Talking a rainbow prom. I'm kind of scared. Just
No. But the other thing that we could go for here is the fact that Brian can leave, and we can still see who pops out of the doors.
I
So
can.
always a
So
possibility.
you have a camera installed somewhere. That's fun. All right.
It's on your
I'll-
computer. That's the one that we've been seeing you on.
Well, no, I just
I feel left out.
leave the call. Or I get all, Death Note on your ass and find a god of death to remove all the cameras and shit. No, he didn't remove them.
no,
Just look
you
at
got to
them.
remember this. Holsch is a non-coiner that's actually caught up. He knows enough hacks to actually hack your camera.
Okay, whatever.
As a non-corner,
No,
how is fleet
I'm gonna
dunk
boot you so I can.
secondary?
Okay, I can put Rum Runner in and
Bye, team.
Brew. So
Bye,
you better
Brian.
be-
LHF.
See you, Brian.
Later,
See you, Brian. Happy
Brian.
birthday.
Enjoy.
So we got a one open spot
Do you need spots?
until I bounce nines, and then we got two.
So Brian Randick,
Yes, it's his birthday. Yes. Yes.
hey folks, good night everyone. I'm dropping as well. Very good to be here. Good chat. Have a
Have a
great
good
weekend.
one, Ren.
Have a good night, Ren.
Have a good night,
You too,
Ron.
Thank you. You too.
Good night.
So, Hefe, you
Yes.
confuse the hell out of me now, and I'm going to do this, I think. There's probably a good reason now. I was stopping at price pack 3. So since I can probably do the other price packs for one fleet each, just to have that 20-day token might just be worth it.
I mean, it's a chance. I mean, how much is it costing you to do a round?
It'll cost me a fleet.
So no coins.
It'll cost me one fleet and an overnight repair. So it'll cost me,
Do it. You're not using those ships anywhere else.
Right, it'll cost
It
me
costs you
$3.20
No. It costs you a fleet and then
and an overnight. And
okay.
I'll do the next one
Okay,
tomorrow.
so
It cost me $6.40.
okay.
That's what it cost me, and I did it. It cost me about.
I can't buy that for that kind of money. And if down the road they're going to come down and offer that second maybe gridiron, I'll be a happy man. And if not, I can still use that 20-day if I have to do a refit and just blow it off.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the
So for
20-day
$6,
refit is ever really going to help. I'm not saying the 20-day refit is ever going to help you, but
it'll never hurt you though.
if it doesn't cost you a thing, you
Well, I
might
might-
as well do it just in case
Yeah.
they do that at some point along the way. Because
I might
20
do
days
that.
is huge.
Yeah.
Because it's 20 days times 96
I would never buy a
960 gold, right?
Yeah.
Doing that right?
something
Yeah.
like-
So 960 gold. If it's not costing you anything, it's probably worth it. Just
even
in
if it costs
case.
me $6, It's probably
Price pack 4 is
it's the same as 3, right?
Yeah, price pack 4. So it's going to be 48 coins times 2, so it's 96. So you're getting 96 gold
Well, I'd slow
out of
repair,
price pack 4.
I'd slow repair the second part. So I used,
Yeah, because you
when I
got
did
days to
3, I
go.
lost 1 full fleet. So that's 32 coin. And
Yeah.
then I lost almost the second part of it that I slow repaired overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would do it. I mean,
I'm going to do it. Okay. I
yeah. I
wasn't
mean,
going to just for the 2-day token because I was thinking for that money I could almost buy a generic 2-day tokens if they had them on like 20% or 25% off. But now with that, with the although not very big potential of a potential second gridirons, and for this cycle and for the FMs and all that coming up, it might be worth it.
it might be. I'm just saying if it's minimal cost, it just depends on what your cost, because I'm doing it for no coins. And so it's just merely my, the 45 minutes it takes me to do it.
Well, I didn't know the pinch trick before either. So now I know the pinch trick. So
Yeah.
I
And
wanna
she's
try
a
it.
wonderful lady. So yeah.
that you're right.
Yeah.
We do know the same trick.
Yeah. No, it's not even a trick at this point. Everybody knows
No, it was
on price pack 6, as far as if you just keep on pinching, you're going to do quite well.
I was being
We could have got more into that, but yeah, it's
Yeah. I was just being facetious.
yeah. So Doolittle, what have you been up to?
I'm going to do it before I go to bed, and I'm going to do it again tomorrow.
Okay. Doolittle, what have you been up to? Are you awake? Nope.
Doolittle. Someone get a dog from a dog too.
Uh-oh. What's Hulsh going to do now?
I don't know.
How is you trying
He's
to
going to
figure out
get
what?
hit another 15 times.
Yeah. We can watch Hulsh get hit a bunch of times. Let me see if there's another slide to look at. I don't know. I think we covered all the relevant slides. So off present if you want me to.
That's fine. Yeah.
And we could, I've got some early footage of Tony Romo doing play-by-play. And I'm so surprised that Jay Cutler has also got a job. Jay Cutler is going to work for Fox. And everybody thinks he's an asshole. So that's a whole different topic we can talk about. I guess I will just take you off. The Hulsh. All right, stop
I
presenting.
think Rue wants in.
Well, if Rue really wants in, there's only 9 of us, and there's 10.
Who wants in? I'll jump out.
No, we'll kick 9s in a second.
4 9s.
Yeah, whatever. No, she doesn't want it in because there's only 9. There is space for anybody else that would like to join the show.
I think she's trolling chat just to see if someone makes a boob reference again.
No, I'm not think that's what she's doing.
What's wrong with those references?
So, how are you doing, Rom? Anything interesting going on?
No, this game sucks.
Whatever.
See, that's what
I think I watched that show last night. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're still playing it.
Exactly, I know. I have no life.
Hey, Rum, that's what you get for building the Harlock Alpha, man.
Silent.
Hey, my Harlock Alpha kicked ass on Pride.
What did you do? Throw it at someone?
No, it stayed right in the channel and just smoked about Prides like you wouldn't believe.
I have to see the replay on this.
Talking.
Why? You doubting it?
Okay.
Yes.
No, I mean, I could show some video. Earth has been sending me videos of me,
I don't want to know what
people hitting
videos
their
he's
base.
sending you.
I mean, the most amusing, because I need to step away and go to the, take a leak. But probably the most amusing is Holsch's video. Holsch, you want to show your video, and I'll put you on present again?
Is that the one with Giannis?
Yeah. Is that the one
Yeah.
amusing?
What a great video.
Yeah. Holsch, you want to bring that up?
Yeah, I've got it up.
Okay.
Hey,
I'll put you on present.
No, the video.
Yes.
Before you leave, can we get a counter in the top corner of how many coins spent?
No, because I'll be back in a minute. But yeah, I mean, Holsch, if he wants to do that, he can do that.
Yeah, since y'all have nothing else to show right
Well, we've been going on for 2.5 hours, so
That's what sucks is he finally got in your base, man. I was hoping you were going to keep him out.
now.
I'm still trying to
you're
figure out
ruining the
why
ending.
No, I didn't.
Still trying to figure out why the crap he used a Man of War.
Well, that's what I don't get because that's a $9 repair.
I mean, the thing at the beginning, I don't understand why Holsch's base is already at that level.
Okay. Yeah, so the thing is that I was hit the previous night by someone, and I popped my bubble because I was going to let them hit again just to test some stuff, but then they didn't hit me again. So then I logged off, and apparently my base didn't repair like it should have, so it was already damaged. Yeah, before this fleet, he had already killed his Liberator fleet one time, so.
Hey, Rum, just saying one thing. I think the least of his worries is the $9 repair in that video.
Well, I know, but still, I mean, why use the damn Man of War?
I almost want to say, I'm wondering if like the little oil things it shoots, do they
Is
get
it
shot?
debuff?
Yeah, do they get shot down by the coaxials?
Not if they're
No
spread
clue.
on the water. I mean, you see that there was plenty of them there.
Well, I mean, some of them
Yeah.
are going to hit before, are going to be in range before the missiles, but I'm just wondering if some of them do that. I don't know.
By the way, I
So
love
did
the
Giannis-
walls.
Did he lose any medals in this or no?
No.
Okay, because he's like number 1 at this point, right? Or he was like last time I looked.
He technically couldn't lose any medals on me
Why?
since I'd popped my bubble and it didn't repair properly.
Okay.
Once you drop down past one of those little 25% breaks, can't you?
Or, well, no, because I already had, before he even started attacking me, I
Well,
already
I'm
had,
saying if he took you below 50 and then get you to 25, could he lose medals? I think that's the question I'm asking.
I don't know.
Okay.
But pretty much anything
And
that much dead is going to be dead, so.
and Giannis isn't number 1, by the way. He's actually tied for number 2.
Okay, well, he was, yesterday. When I was watching this, I was watching and Giannis was number 1 with all this, which I consider nonsense.
The better
I
players.
consider nonsense, all
catching up.
this. This is like,
How do you keep doing it?
because he's not doing any damage. He's just dying.
Why does he keep dying?
Yeah, that's a greater question, and it's not one
Because
that
he
I'm
felt-
going to answer personally. But yeah, that's
He felt the need to drop 400 coins and then turn around and say the base is crap.
I mean, at some point, it's futile, right?
no, not
Okay.
for everybody.
I'm
It's,
not-
it's,
I'm
it's
not
all
saying,
good.
just going.
Don't complain. Just trying to figure out what Holsch is up to. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Well, Giannis just wanted to brutalize Holsch. That's all.
Well,
it was.
Holsch is obviously a hacker because
I would say what I said in the post, but I might get muted for it.
I am confused on this hit because he had the bullseye crew on his fleet, but he wasn't shooting down any of my hyenas. So I don't know if he just doesn't have any anti-missile in that fleet or.
I would say probably the first part.
Because he used 2 bullseyes on me total.
Okay, I got a different question.
He's got.
Why do you? How
got
many
gate
anti-mort do you have in
giggles.
there?
A decent amount. Why?
I mean, if nothing else, he could have rushed in with a Zoe's ret and tried to splash it out. I mean, that would save killing the entire damn fleet.
No, it wasn't. Deflection.
You need- Yeah, I've already changed my base setup, so
Oh god, I just got mentioned in a comment on Facebook.
yeah.
Okay, it's safe.
This is the part that no, I don't get the. Oh yeah, because like he popped up after he killed me right here. He popped up again, and got hit by hyenas even more, which I don't know why. I don't think. Yeah, I woke up in the middle of that. So.
All I gotta say is he used 2 mega hulls to hit you. Good base. And amazing wall collection.
Yeah. Oh, it was good. Funny thing is, I still haven't finished my guard fleet.
If you'd stop building the alphas, you might be able to.
You guys are complaining about the poor alphas. It's a good boat.
I like mine. I can say that.
My Vanquisher.
My Vanquishers are getting a break. I've got a Harlock, 2 alphas, and 2 rhinos.
You saw my
Actually,
video
I-
on a thrower Vanquisher, didn't you?
And I still understand on this hit. Like every time I did playback, it was because I did playback twice to record it, and it was worse damage each time. It was the exact same playback from the 2 playbacks that I did, but it was not because he actually made it. He only had 1 pride die actually. I don't
Yeah.
know how because it had.
Congratulate Kicks on their spectacular work.
Yeah, I wish they would fix that. So, because I always try and watch base attacks live to see make sure I see what actually happened.
Rum, did you happen to see my video on the thrower Vanquisher?
I don't think so.
I'll link you in a minute.
Okay. Is it the new thrower?
Yeah.
Hell, I've even forgotten the name of the new thrower, and I've got it on the alpha.
Poloniums.
Yeah, thank you.
Nuked a Liberator fleet in about 6 seconds the other night with it.
Nice.
He was so freaked out that he turned around, drove out of my channel, second outside my base, and came back in and tried it again.
He's tenacious, and he's not afraid to throw coins.
Link on the side.
Okay, thanks.
Hefe, send us to after show.
Or does anyone else want to come on the show? How many people are even watching now?
29. Rue, where are you?
That's why they left me on that one show. He just went away. Now I was the only person left with him, and can't really stop the show. So
There's nothing better than waking up and realized Hefe passed out on the show.
Oh gosh, going for that 10-hour show. We're almost at. Well, it would have almost been closer to a 3-hour show if we hadn't had the disconnection.
Oh, I'm counting that in.
Nice. Has he got nothing but throwers on that Pride?
That throwers was all me.
Guess it showed.
I show Captain Big Boy's hitting your base. And he's got a Pride out front with throwers. It's not killing squat, but it is spotting.
Let me check. It's been a while since I looked.
It's at what time? 1 minute 53 seconds.
Hey guys, how we going?
Hey,
Toxic! I don't see throwers on there.
Not throwers, I'm sorry, launcher.
Yeah.
I mean, it does 0 damage.
That's the point. You want to be able to rush up the channel, do no damage to cause a bubble, and get to the guard.
Well, yeah, I understand that part of it. But I mean, it's just like, it wasn't doing anything. And then it just gets smoked.
Mm-hmm. So, Toxic, how's your week in BP going?
Yeah, I just done price pack 3 of the campaign. Oh, bloody thing cost me 8 coins.
The 75 hurt you? Or, sorry, the last one?
6 is...
Have they upped the damage on that on 6 and 7?
not that.
I finished the last one this morning. I didn't see any damage difference.
Tell you what, my Cannoneers could not do that for anything.
I do have to say that I think they upped the armor in the 99 base mines, the Scourge 99 targets. It looks like that. I'm not 100% sure because my ally bonus isn't all the way up, but it seems like they've upped the armor some on those. That's another thing.
I'm still looking for 103s. I haven't even find them yet.
Yeah, good luck. I haven't seen one since the first night they came out.
Yep.
Though knowing me, I'd probably have to zombie twice to finish one.
Yeah. They're spawning. They're just not on the map, you know.
You gotta stop listening to that certain mod.
Yeah. When I've looked for base parts in the past 4 days for probably 5 hours plus changing my base around, I think I would have seen a few, you know, maybe just maybe one.
The good news is that mod, if history repeats himself, will come back on next week and say he got the early information wrong.
Yeah. I do have to say that it seems like there's a few more 99s than there were on Friday. I mean,
I'll have my base
Friday.
parts finished before they change over completely. If I ever actually get the nerve to actually start hitting 97s this week.
Yeah. We've got 6 more days till the mines are gone.
Well, for the last week and a half, I've been doing nothing but the TLC, pretty much the FM, and hitting Hyperions. 50 Hyperions in the last week and a half. Are we still on air?
Yeah. I don't know where Hefe went, so. Who else wants to talk about something? Anyone? Anyone?
You know, if we keep talking about Hyperions, we might be able to kill the audience.
Yeah. Go there.
It's to 23 now, so
So I killed off 6.
I think one of them was my phone though. So
I killed off 5. We got to talk about Hyperions for another 20 minutes.
Oh.
Let's do it.
22, 21, counting down.
So
And it
The,
just went back.
preview for the sloth, is that Monday?
Yes,
Yes.
11 a.m. kickside time.
Yeah. Always at work. Never get a chance to do that crap.
Yeah, I really wish that they would change some of the days, times. But I know it's whenever they're working and have all the people. But I mean, they could just one time have it just a different time, maybe.
Or
Sure.
better yet, they can make Kixeye accounts loud in it.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
Should have it on the weekend
32
when
account.
the whole world can participate.
Exactly.
I can take my level 32 Facebook account, use all those coins to level it up, and try.
Yeah, and you still wouldn't have the tech, like all the specials.
I admit, I would have been like the 2 idiots and done maybe 1 or 2 Hyperion fights to test something.
Yeah. What should I
So
present?
how much you want to bet someone tries to run a 5 fleet of sloths, armor them out the butt, and try and run them down a channel?
Probably a few. Interesting.
Or better yet, post on the forum saying, "My sloth just got killed by a mortar. What the hell?"
Or those that try and take it into the FM and do the raid with it.
Come on, I had a level 120 base in sector today say that cargo no longer drops blueprints. It only drops fragments.
Fragment.
Now tell me how many things is wrong with that sentence.
Hey, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back.
Finally.
We were killing off the audience. One Hyperion talking to another.
yeah. Oh my god. No, I had to put away food. Made some stuffed poblano peppers tonight with but I had to put away the stuffing, so.
What was your stuffing?
Well, it was basically tomatoes. It was simple. It was tomatoes, ground beef, cumin, smoked paprika, garlic. Well, I'd already cooked down some onions beforehand, but yeah, it was a little pepper on there. But because the poblanos add a nice little, they're not really spicy, but they're, I don't know. You guys
You're bringing up the audience by talking about food.
Well, whatever, you know. Because remember, Thursday nights, I'm going to teach people how to find hot girls on the internet. You know, that's I'm going to learn people up.
I'm just laughing at the views. They've gone up.
Yeah. And Doolittle is pushing for the after show, and that's sort of what I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure, how you guys were getting along without me.
We all have been pushing for it. We just wonder what happened to you.
I wasn't gone that long. I went out, I put some stuff away.
Like 30 minutes.
No,
He
I've only
wasn't
been
gone
gone for about six or 7 minutes. I was letting you guys run before that, but
Man, Nines has done told 81 stories.
yeah. Calamity Jane.
Yeah.
That's his new nickname once he comes on. All right. Well, if we're running towards that point where we're running out of content, I will post in chat if there's anybody left. We're down to 21. In case anybody wants to join us in the after show that's too afraid to be associated with Yeah.
81.
I'm looking through I'm looking through the rest of them. I mean, there's no Toxic. Everybody loves Toxic, so there's no problem with him. So it's either me, Nines, or
Could be me.
yeah. You'd be the next likely thing, because I don't think anybody has any problem with Doolittle either. So I posted the chat, and I posted in the chat as far as if anybody would like to join the after show. We're going to be talking about stuffed poblanos. Throw a little cheese on them. Everybody loves them.
So I'd swap out.
Then the secrets of oven roasting potatoes, which so many people seem to get wrong, where they get that leathery skin on the outside. Oh my goodness!
And just in, Brian may be live streaming.
Yeah, the transvestite
The Rainbow Show. The Rainbow Show.
Yeah.
Or
So,
whatever it was.
alrighty, if anybody else would like to join us, I think we're going to the after show. Unless, Rum, you have any last words?
Nope. I save them.
Okay.
Hyperion.
No. Hyperion is not good.
Alrighty. Well, okay. Toxic?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop the broadcast, and we will proceed to the after show.